Hey everyone, Carlos Tobon again with Jeff Piroozshad. Now doing the latest release ball review video from Global 900, the Wolverine Dark Moss. Very excited about this release since the previous one was not allowed in some competition. And I'm actually very excited after I drilled it. But thank you for being with me, Jeff.
You're welcome. So I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. I do not call this ball the Wolverine Dark Moss. What do I call this ball?
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine, that's right. I loved the original Wolverine, the blue one. I liked it a lot.
I did
and green actually happens to be my favorite color. So 2 for 2 on liking this ball without even having thrown it yet. So I'm looking forward to throwing this. I threw it a little bit at the Storm Matchmaker you did a couple of weeks ago. On that one, the pin was down and it didn't flare very much, and I had to play a lot straighter. So this one's got the pin up. As you can see, it's a 5x4 by 1.5. Our axis, our PAP, is roughly the same, so the layout's pretty close for both of us. That's actually your layout because this is your ball. I'm throwing your ball because I don't have one of these, although I hope I will be getting one soon because green is my favorite color. So that's how I buy bowling balls these days.
Yeah. So ultimately, this ball, just like the blue one, is the ultimate stand left, throw it right. When there's a hook spot blowing up in the middle part of the lane or the pattern, it's definitely a great ball to throw that way and get it to come back. Everything about the ball, the numbers, the 253 RG and the 052 differential. It just screams throw me from left to right and watch it come back. So again, I had very good success with the blue one. I actually used it at the Players earlier in the year, and it bailed me out whenever I had to get deep. So I was very excited to have another one that I could actually use in every competition that we're going to face.
Right, so we're going to be doing a competition or a race to 4 strikes. Whoever gets 4 strikes first wins, but if we both strike in the same frame, neither of us gets a point.
Right.
Now, one other thing before I start the video. So the blue Wolverine came very high gloss polished out of the box. This one is the 4K Fast, which is a little bit of surface. It's not as polished. If somebody wanted that reaction that they had with the blue Wolverine, would they be able to just shine this one up and it'd be pretty much the same ball?
Yeah, it's exact same ball, the same numbers. What I've heard from other staffers and other bowlers as feedback for about this ball is that it is a little earlier and a little smoother. It still has plenty of back end, but it has everything to do with the 4K Fast finish. It is designed to be still clean, but it's going to get into a roll just a little bit sooner. It's going to be more predictable. If you wanted the same reaction, you can just follow the steps that we used to do with the 2000 polished finish. You can go 500, 2000, and then polish it. And then you should get the exact same reaction off of it.
All right, so let's start. This is something we pre-recorded yesterday, actually, and I'm going to just hit play.
And this is good to go. This is our 6th match.
This is
you're up 3-2. You kind of flipped the script on the previous one because you won with the bigger ball with the reality check. I haven't won yet with a symmetrical ball. The two times that I've beaten you with the bigger ball. So we'll see how this plays out. This was filmed on top of a little bit of play that we've had on this lane already. So it's set up very good for this ball because there was more of a defined hook spot down lane.
Yeah, and you can see that first shot you threw hit that hook spot, and when we maybe took like one practice shot with this ball. And I'm using your Wolverine. We have a turbo switch grip that's drilled for my thumb, so I'm using yours. And I immediately just go left and just start hooking, the lane out of it, because that's what I used to do with the blue one. So I said, okay, let me do that too, and it worked really well.
You're already up 1-0.
I'm already up 1-0. So this one, now since we had bowled on this lane already, we knew there was a little carry down in the middle, and we knew that even to the right where the hook spot was, there were points on the lane where there was also a little carry down here and there also.
Yes.
So I know you were talking while we were doing this about wanting maybe to square up a little bit more, and you can see once you threw that shot.
Yeah, I kind of got an idea that, okay, I'm throwing it better now. I think that it was coming off my hand a lot better. The first one I got there too quick and it overhooked. And so this one I wanted to project further down the lane. and get a smoother reaction, but further down the lane, and he just never saw it. So I kind of had a really good idea that I needed to square up, otherwise I was going to have no chance again, because you just struck with this ball a lot. You just like everything about the original one, and I knew that you would feel comfortable throwing this ball.
Yeah, and actually the blue one that I had was 14 pounds, and I've since gone back up to 15. So I don't have a Wolverine in 15 right now. So, but we'll see what this ball does. If this ball looks good for me, maybe I'll have to get one. We'll see. But I'm obviously putting a lot further left than you. My rev rate's a bit higher, and I'm just getting the ball down the lane and letting it hit that hook spot and just use the power that the ball has to come over.
So you're up 2-0. But
quickly.
Yeah,
we got this one. It's in the bag.
Yeah. You know, it's a race to 4. You're halfway there. But I actually felt more comfortable because I kind of knew what the move was going to be for me. With the bigger ball, and when I got it there, it, you know, since it was pinned down, it actually labored. It didn't finish. I figured, okay, let me go the opposite way, kind of square up a little bit more, and just play closer to the pocket, maybe keep my speed up. And I think it worked out just fine. I mean, that shot was really good, had plenty of energy, and moved to the pocket. That's what this ball really, really does well. It goes through the pins properly.
Yeah, I noticed that also. Every time I hit the pocket, it was either a strike or a 4-pin. I don't think in all the shots I took, even with the couple of practice shots I took, that I left a flat 10 with this ball. The core really made it turn over well, and I like that, especially because I have to play. You know, generally I have to play pretty far left with this ball, so I need something that's going to just hit the spot and turn over. Right.
So, for example, if I would have gone with a 4-inch pin to pop or 4.5-inch pin to pop, I would have asked for the ball to flare faster. However, this is not the type of ball that I'm going to use when there's a lot of oil. I'm going to have to cover bores, and so I do get more reaction down lane by putting the pin buffer smaller, and that's why I made it 1.5 inches. And you can see the ball actually transitions very well when it gets further down the lane.
So we both struck on that frame, so neither of us get a point. I'm still up 2-0.
Right, and you're still feeling comfortable because you really haven't missed with that ball.
I've struck 3 times out of 3 shots so far. So.
Right. I just want to make it competitive. I mean, the last one wasn't very good.
Yeah, I rolled you over with the reality check, but you're looking a little better with this one.
Absolutely, more solid.
Yeah, solid. You actually got the same pin action twice in a row. You hit that like mixer kind of spot where it makes the pins dance around a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I generally love that type of reaction because I can stay there, and I know eventually the lane's not going to get tighter. That spot might actually blow up more over time with more people bowling, and it eventually is going to go flush. So I like light mixer. I can stay there all day.
So for the Wolverine, where do you see this fitting in somebody's arsenal?
Okay, so generally speaking, I've spoken about a 5-ball arsenal or 6-ball arsenal. This is definitely ball 3 for me. The first ball, which is for fresh, it has to be something solid. Typically pin down for me so that it doesn't change directions too quickly. And then I go into my big ball, pin up, that I can open up the angles because I am going to have to cover more boards when the carry down comes. This ball will be the next one in that transition where I actually have to keep moving further left. But now I can't get it too wide because there's so much hook, right? So the ball itself is not going to get through. It's going to want to change direction. So I can actually create more angle and get it to come off the spot and just get through the pins the proper way.
See, for me, I would probably have to make a decision whether I wanted to leave the ball at the box finish or shine it up.
Correct.
I would definitely leave the pin up where it is. But if I want it to be leave it with the box finish, I might actually put the pin a little more to the right to get it to be a little smoother down lane. If I was going to polish it up, I might leave the pin there or put the pin even a little further left just to get it to save a little more energy.
I think we're tied. I think you 4-pin on the previous one after I struck, and I think we're just now tied.
Are we not tied?
And now you need this one to actually stay tied.
Right.
I'm all over you now.
Yeah. But the thing is, I wasn't really feeling like I was in trouble because I had the pocket. And I thought, I was throwing it okay.
Yeah. No, I know you liked your look with this ball. I found something once I squared up.
Actually, I think this one, is this the one that tied it up? I think this might be the one that tied it up. Because you took the first shot.
Right, but you had 4-pin in the previous one after I struck. Because I haven't missed in the last 3 shots.
All right.
So this is 3-2.
So that makes it 3-2?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so. I think that's the one that made it 2-2.
Okay.
Because I 4-pinned on the last shot. That was the only shot I didn't strike.
Right, but I had struck. And I go first.
Right, so that would have been the first one. That would have been 1.
Yeah.
So that would 2-2. So now I think it's 2-2. I believe. We can't even keep track of the score, and we have the score on the screen. How bad are we? So, like I said, I think you went first, so now you struck again. So I believe now this is the one where I have to strike in order to keep it at 2.
Okay, but all right. You just went through the phase of previous shot too after I struck, and okay.
Yeah, so that's why it's 2-2.
Okay, good. Hey, listen, I want to win at all costs.
Right. Folks at home, if when you're watching this, put in the comments who you can hit rewind on this and put in the comments who is right. What's the score right now? Is it 2-2? And we'll see, because now this shot I throw, and
you just went through the face. So did you make any moves?
Yeah, I moved a little left. I moved 3 and 1 left, I believe.
And that still went through the pins perfectly. I really like the shape down lane. I mean, that's...
And you, let's see, you 10 pins, so that puts me at 3-2.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
I haven't missed.
All right.
I have not missed.
Okay. All right. We'll keep it at 2-2. That's fine. We'll keep it at 2-2.
It's Florida. We might need a recount.
We might need a recount. That's correct.
I love how I matched the Cool Week shirt to the ball. That's why I threw it better.
All right.
Yeah. Now I
there's the solid 10. Okay.
Right?
So now I get up with a chance to take the lead. Okay. I'm on the same page. That was a solid 10. I see that.
Okay.
I agree with you. That's a 10. Okay, so did you, when you threw that ball, do you remember if you thought that was a good shot or not?
I thought it was a great shot. I think I'm just comfortable. I might have overthrown it just a hair, but I'm not going to do anything different. I think that the ball reaction right now is really good. I struck several times in a row, and I just rang a 10 pin, and I think that some people, bowlers at home, might panic a little bit when they ring a 10, but generally speaking, I don't make a move off of that. Mm-hmm. So you go high flush to take the lead.
Mm-hmm. So I have a saying that I like to say. It's your job as a bowler is not to throw strikes. A lot of people think it is. Mm-hmm. Your job as a bowler is only to give the ball the best chance possible to strike. If you've done that, you've done your job.
Fair enough.
So whether you strike or not, you can only do what you can do. What happens down the lane, you know, the pins control that.
After it's off your hand, you can't control it. You can only just do the best execution you can at the moment.
Right. So you never really want to try to throw a strike. You just want to try to put yourself in the best position to get it done. And
you can see I didn't make any adjustments. I just kept throwing it good. And the ball is just reading so much better that middle part of the lane, the end of the pattern. And it just gets off the spot really, really good. This is my favorite layout for a symmetrical pearl ball that I know I'm going to use when there's hook to the right. That's why I use that layout.
Mm-hmm. No, I can see that. For me, I thought that I had a good look with this ball for sure. Mm-hmm. There were some times where I felt like I overthrew it a little bit, and it might have either skidded through a little, or I just caught too much of it, and it was a little more responsive than I thought it would be off the dry. Like for instance, the one that went through the face, or that 4-pin. So we both strike, so we're still tied. So it's still 3-2. I still am in a position where it's, I guess, match point, right? If you don't strike, I can strike and win.
Absolutely.
So for this Wolverine, the last Pearl ball that 900 Global released was the Altered Reality. How does, and obviously that was asymmetric, and this is symmetric. How does this compare to that?
So the Reality Series core is a much bigger. It's asym, like you said, but it has a much lower RGs in the 248s. This is 253, so it has a much higher RG. It wants to load more down the lane, get down the lane easier, and obviously being symmetrical is going to be also cleaner and more continuous. It does have a little higher differential than most of the balls that we've used in the past in this position. For example, the High Road Pearl, it's a ball that comes to mind. It's been very, very popular with the high RG because that's what you need when the lanes start hooking early. However, the differential on that is 047. This is in the 050s, 052 if I remember correctly. So it actually flares a little bit more. So it's going to allow you to open up more of the angle and still come back to the pocket.
Yeah, I feel like this is really comparable to like a High Road Pearl Plus. Where now, since I 10-pinned and you struck, now it's tied at 3. Oh boy, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here.
Right.
I feel like this is, I have a High Road Pearl and I like it, but sometimes there's just too much volume for it. If I'm on a condition where I would like to use a High Road Pearl, but it's just not hooking enough, I would probably take this ball out. With the box surface or polished, either one. It's probably going to hook a little more off of the dry. It'll probably hook a little earlier also, just because it flares more. So this is a ball that I could just put right above that in the arsenal and just go from this to a High Road Pearl.
And the tendency nowadays is to have more volume on the patterns. It seems like every so often the patterns, when they get adjusted, they just have more volume. And so balls like the High Road Pearl or the original High Road that were really, really good in that position, now they just don't see the lane properly. And so this is a great step up. Is more of a heavier roll, more roll in the middle, more hook in the middle. And so more people with different styles of play will benefit from this ball because it is going to pick up sooner, but still going to have plenty of backhand.
Yep. So now I need this one to stay alive. Yeah. And I thought I overthrew it a little bit, and you can see I absolutely overthrew it a little bit.
Wow, what a comeback for me.
Yeah, that was a pretty good comeback for you. I was up 2-0, and you came back and tied it up, and then I went up 3-2, and you tied it up again, and you fought like a bulldog there, I would say. So, but yeah, I definitely overthrew that last one. Maybe got it out a little too. Maybe didn't get it out enough into the dry. But you know, that's you gotta when you have ball speed like mine, you have to be careful. No matter how strong a ball you're throwing, that you don't just juice it too much. And I gave this one a little extra juice.
The one thing just to close that I wanted to point out is the fact that at no point in this video when we didn't throw it as good as we could, we got in trouble. We didn't leave anything that wasn't makeable. And I think for everybody at home, that's something to look for. You got to be on the right part of the lane and trying to play the best possible. But when you miss, if you're leaving a single pin spare or a makeable, that tells you right there that all the elements are matching up. When every time you miss, you get 5 or 6, it's really hard to score. And maybe you can look at that and you know, when you're bowling league and why you can put together high sets.
Right. That's why the one shot that I went through the face and I left the 3-6-10 and the 4-7. That's when I knew I was in the wrong place because I missed. I made a bad shot and it was awful. The result was awful. So I knew I had to move. And once I moved, I was fine. But you know, read what your ball does and don't just say, "Oh, it was a bad shot. I'll just make a better shot." Sometimes you have to look at your bad shots and say, well, it was a bad shot, but it was a really bad result. I want to get to a place on the lane where I make a bad shot and still have a decent, good result. Might not strike, but maybe you leave a 10-pin or maybe you leave like a 4-pin like this. But that lesson for all you at home. Watch what your ball does and don't be afraid to make adjustments. So that's 6 of these videos now. I think we're tied at 3.
3-3.
So I'm looking forward to episode 7. I don't know what ball it's going to be, but I mean, we'll find out soon.
I have a feeling. But
okay. Well, stay tuned for episode 7. If you want to be notified of when episode 7 comes out, please hit that subscribe button on whichever one of the channels you're watching. Carlos is going to post this video on his YouTube channel. I'm posting it on mine. So hit subscribe, hit that like button, and it helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Gets the video out to more people. So until next time, for Carlos, we'll see you guys all later.
Thank you very much.